Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to start talking about marketing communications. And this is the end of promotion. This is what most people think about when they think of marketing. It's the flashiest, the sexiest side of marketing. But, of course, things aren't always like they seem. There's a lot more underneath the surface than what we normally think about. When we're talking about promotion, we're talking about trying to get an image, an idea, a message across to our target market. This is what communication is. Promotion is communication. So the first thing we're going to look at is the communication process. A number of you might have studied the communication process in other courses, maybe years ago, maybe real recently. But of course with marketing we're going to take a little different tilt to it than what you're probably used to. To begin with, we have two sets of people or organizations we're looking at. The set of buildings that you see over here is representative of what we call the source. And the source are the marketing people in an organization, the advertising agency, the ones who are going to initiate the promotion. Okay, it's going to originate with them. And then over here we have the receiver. You know, hopefully this is our target market, the group that's going to be exposed to our promotion and that is going to receive what we want them to receive from that transmission. Okay, we have some kind of message that we're trying to get across with our promotion. Believe it or not, it's usually not buy our product, even though that does happen. Many times it's more of we're the fun product, we're the fun company, we're the elegant one, you're having a dinner party, we need to be involved. There's some kind of message, something we want you to learn about our product, our company, or our brand. And that's what we're trying to get across to you if you are the target market. We are going to use a medium of transmission to get that to you. The medium of transmission is, are we going to use television, magazines, personal selling, you know, our sales force, giveaways? How are we going to get this message across to you? Okay, it's the method. Now the tricky part comes in the encoding and the decoding. Now picture for a minute if I'm standing here with a bottle or a can of pop and I say, here's the pop I drink, it's very good, it's a diet so it's not bad for you. I think you should try it too. Thank you very much. And that was the whole commercial. That would be the world's most boring commercial. Nobody would buy this product. Nobody would even watch the commercial. People would flip right through it. No issues there. The point is we need to encode it. We need to do something to make it appealing to you so that you'll watch, so you'll listen, so you'll give it attention. So we might encode it using humor. We might encode it because of the situation that we have, the music that we're playing at the time, the people who are involved. But we're going to wrap it up in this pretty picture to try and get your attention and get your focus. That's how we encode it. Well, the next thing is you're going to decode it. When you see it, you're going to attach your own meaning to this. There used to be a commercial a long time ago for a pizza company, some of you might remember, called Little Caesars. And they had some very entertaining commercials. And one of them showed a man getting on a plane. And he was late for the plane, and he's running through security at the gate, running through the gate, and somebody who was seeing somebody else off was holding a big Little Caesars pizza. And as the guy's running through the gate, he grabs a piece of pizza, runs on through, gets on the plane, and the cheese is still attached to the main pizza. Well, the plane takes off, gets up in the air, the cheese is still attached, mind you, and it gets all the way up there, and then all of a sudden the plane starts shaking, and boom, gets pulled back down by the cheese. Now, if we take that literally, is that cheese that you would want to put in your digestive system? No, of course not. It'd be like a brick in there. But the message that they were trying to get across is we're a fun pizza. We don't take ourselves seriously. We're not gourmet. We're fun. You're having a party, invite us along. And that's what most people attach to it. That's the meaning that they interpreted. Okay. How do we know if our message is received properly? Well, we're going to get feedback. The feedback can come from our testing, which we'll talk about more in a future segment. We'll test our messages and get people's response to it. But also, if we were trying to increase awareness of our product, did the awareness go up? If we were trying to increase sales, did the sales go up? That's the most simple feedback we get. Now, one other component to this whole communication process that we really need to be aware of is what we call noise. And noise encompasses all aspects of the communication process. And it's not just audible noise. It can be anything from any kind of distraction that is around a telephone ringing, salesperson having bad breath, anything that distracts from the message. We can't get rid of noise. We can try to diminish it, but we can't get rid of it. Okay, so that's the general process. So what do we mean when we're talking about marketing communications and how that fits into our strategy? Well, we need to decide which elements of the promotion mix we need to use to communicate with our target market. And we're going to talk about each of these in detail in future segments. But personal appeal is when we get a person, an individual, to talk to you, to talk to the target market. And this is using personal selling. We can also use mass appeals when we're trying to reach a large number of people at one time. And the things that we'll be looking at in future segments are advertising, which is when a space or time is paid for by an identified sponsor, sales promotions, which are more short-term in nature, and public relations, which are trying to get people to talk about us and get some publicity. Now, there are some new advances in the advertising and promotion area. And you see these names up here: guerrilla marketing, viral marketing, buzz, and hype. It's using unorthodox, untraditional ways of reaching people. And before I talk about it a little bit more, I'm going to give you an example. This is a clip from the CBS show 60 Minutes. It's a partial clip. It's not the entire segment. I hope you enjoy it. Let's take a look at it.
Tonight, a report on some covert operations being conducted right here in the United States, not by the CIA or FBI, but by Madison Avenue. Advertising has become advertising ad nauseum, and we are forever being pitched to, marketed to, and appealed to by someone trying to sell us something. If you find that troubling, the companies trying to sell you stuff aren't too thrilled either. They're finding it harder and harder in this assault of advertising to get your attention, and are coming up with inventive, even devious ways of grabbing you. Which brings us to something called undercover marketing, marketing by masquerade, stealth marketing.
Let me give you a definition, a quick definition of stealth marketing. Stealth marketing is marketing to people when they don't even realize that they're being marketed to. It's kind of that real.
Somewhere in downtown New York, a secret plan is being hatched.
It's got to be totally under the radar.
A hand-picked team of attractive, approachable guns for hire have been tapped to go undercover.
You're going to have fun with this.
They've been assembled by a company called Essential Reality, which has launched a new product called the P5 Glove, a cutting-edge device that video gamers can use to fly planes and fire weapons on their computers with a twitch of a finger.
And we're going to go into coffee bars and crowded places. Your job is to go out there and have fun with it and say, yeah, sure, come on, you want to try it? Great, try. And all of a sudden, you just involve them with the brand. And then feed them a few sound bites along the way. Yeah, you're in there. It's like, look at this. It's like you're in the game. It's like you're in the game. That's a good sound bite.
Inside a nearby Starbucks, Theo and Kumani could be any of a million 20-somethings hanging out, obsessed with their new toy, not pitching anything, just waiting for someone to approach them. And so were we with an undercover camera.
It works well?
It works really well. Try it on for a couple of minutes, in like a minute, you'll see this thing just moves fluidly.
Bingo, Mr. Curious plays right into Theo's hands.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. If you want, y'all, I can email you the information about it.
The fish just keep taking the bait.
That's cool. This is so cool.
You know, I have some information that I can email you.
Let's do it.
Okay, give me...
About this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
Above all, they never let on. They're on the job.
It's like you're actually moving inside the game.
It's like you're moving inside the game. Yeah.
Like he's right inside the game.
No one is overtly trying to sell you anything, only trying to to get you to want it. And then, of course, buy it and tell your friends about it.
It's only going to get lighter, you know what I'm saying?
Not soft sell or hard sell, secret sell.
Go ahead, get this guy in the business suit.
Excuse me. Would you mind taking a picture of me and my boyfriend?
When Sony Ericsson wanted to promote its hot new gadget, a cell phone that takes pictures, beyond conventional advertising, they launched an undercover campaign called Fake Tourist.
Excuse me, ladies. Sorry to bother you.
60 actors took to the streets of 10 cities, irresistibly innocent-looking, seeking a small favor.
Excuse me. You mind taking a picture of us? Thanks a lot, man. It's cool, right?
The undercover operation was the brainchild of Sony Ericsson's director of marketing, John Marin. Why did you choose to keep them undercover?
That was an easy way to create a very non-evasive, interesting conversation with somebody without the pressure of it feeling like this is a pitch.
Obviously, it was to overcome our natural resistance to being pitched to.
Yeah, in a sense it was, but more so in a sense it was for the people to just fit into the area in which they were.
In other words, that good Samaritan doesn't know she's being had.
It's cool, right?
So what you just saw were people being marketed to without realizing that they were being marketed to. And that's what we mean when we use those terms, guerrilla marketing, viral marketing, creating buzz and hype. The book gives you separate definitions for each one, and those are fine. It's good to look those over and be familiar with it. But in lay terms, when the everyday person or marketer uses those terms, they're basically talking about the same thing. Trying to get your product out there without people realizing what's going on. A later example in that segment that I was showing you from 60 Minutes demonstrated a woman at a bar who was trying to introduce a new brand of cigarette to people. And very attractive woman sitting at the bar just drinking a drink and smoking a cigarette, waiting for people to come up and bump a cigarette off of her. And then she'd give them this new type and talk about it. There are some ethical questions with this, as hopefully you can see. You know, if you're like me, you're a people person. You like to go out and start conversations with people and really get to know them. And it kind of hurts to know that they're being paid to talk to you. At least it does to me. So there are some ethical issues, but this is where a lot of marketing dollars are currently being spent. So you might question some of the freebies that you've been given, or when you go to a party at an establishment, you might notice only one type of liquor is being served. Chances are pretty good that there's some kind of marketing going on at that point in time. Okay, let's sum up what we've talked about here so far. In summary, promotion is communication. It is how an organization gets its message, image, intent across to its target market. We need to understand the communication process in order for our attempts at communication or promotion to be successful. If we don't understand how people receive our message, how they decode it, what gets their attention, then all the money we spend in the world isn't going to make a bit of difference. It's understanding the human, it's understanding the target market and their communication method that is essential. We have a lot more to talk about in terms of promotion, including details on some of these different methods. I'll look forward to continuing the conversation with you. Have a good day.